I am guaranteeing you, like you can take it on the pod, you can clip it as well, that these two teams will finish 1 and 2 in whichever order.
But the real blinder, David Miller. Oh man, 8 years in Punjab, 8 years the superhero. He showed no remorse. 24 of 10 balls to win the game was maybe Ashutosh, man.
That one, we are playing SRH, right? So I like to have things in our control.
We need to talk, man. The points table, it's getting packed. The race for the top two, it's getting spicy. And RCB, we're getting salty. We're going to talk about that very soon. Punjab lost to DC, guys. We're going to talk about that, giving us 24 more hours of supremacy to screenshot this and manifest it for the future. Why only 24 hours? Because GT is playing Sunrisers later tonight, depending on when you watch this video. Who should you be supporting? And why that matters? We're going to talk about that too. But most importantly, guys, this is your KKR preview. This is the Red and Bold Show. Let's get right into it. Should I even start, man? Maybe Delhi's redemption arc? I mean, while only LSG and Mumbai are technically eliminated with the E next to them, we all kind of knew Delhi was too. And I think they knew it as well. Even though Akshar Patel at the toss said, oh yeah, we're going to win all our games and see what happens. They made 5 changes. 5 bench warmers came to play. And one of them, David Miller. Oh man, 8 years in Punjab, 8 years the superhero. He showed no remorse. 3 fours, 4 cleanest of 6s, 51 of 28. But the real blinder was maybe Ashutosh, man. 24 of 10 balls to win the game. I'm not sure. But the real hero and the man of the match, I would say, is Manav Tiwari, man. 18 of 8. When Punjab's tails were up, he comes out, hits 2 fours in a row. Not even mentioning his bowling figures, dude. He was, 2 for 40 runs? When Ngidi is going wicketless of 46, Stark is going for 57. And guys, you know what? What am I talking about? This is an RCB channel. Why should you care? You should care because of this. And you got 24 hours more of this. And also, not to mention, we have to play them in Dharamsala like in less than a week. So rise with me here. What did you think of that game? And what does it mean to us and to you?
I think that was a pretty important game in the context of the entire IPL. If Punjab would have won that, they would have been obviously top of the table, but also they would have come back in the form or whatever you want to call it, right? Because they've had consecutive losses. Now it's 3. And momentum in IPL is crazy. Like we're playing KKR, who's obviously won 4, and we'll talk more about that. So their momentum is on the...
I think Punjab is 4 in a row now.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know it's 3 for sure. But the point being that it was in Dharamshala, which is their home ground. They're playing Mumbai in Dharamshala and they're playing Bangalore in Dharamshala, and the qualifier is in Dharamshala. So my point being that if the home team does not win or do not have that confidence at home, right, that gives the opposition team a lot of confidence coming into the game. So from that POV, it was really important because we are going there right after the KKR game. Right. So it was really important. And David Miller, like I've told you this, I think in one of the episodes as well, like he's that kind of player, right? That if he stays, he will win you the game, and he plays knocks like that. So I'll be honest with you, when they were 74 for 4, I turned the TV off because I was like, another day, another game for DC. And then I think you messaged me saying, what a thriller, and I turned it on for the last 5 minutes. So I'm not going to lie and be someone who watched that game, but super happy with the result, and we'll take it.
Yeah, dude, no, I mean, you know, Delhi showed the value of batting deep today. But no, fully agree with you, man. And by the way, Punjab have lost 4 in a row. So they had won 6 in a row. And then
Punjab's, the thing that we should actually take away from this is that Punjab's bowling is really a huge question mark, if you think about it. If you look at the stats, it's really bad. Like yesterday, I think, apart from Arshdeep, who's bowling well, everyone went for a minimum of 40 and a maximum of 50s. I think 2 of them, right? Which is crazy, right? Even Shreyas Iyer mentioned that their fielding and bowling is bad. So if this is...
As you know, guys, Gujarat is playing Sunrisers later tonight. And whoever wins will claim the top spot from us. At least until we play KKR. And we're going to get into that soon. Again, why does this matter? And who should we support? I think this is a question that my dad asked me, like, Adi, who are you going to support in that game? And you know, there's 2 schools of thought. So let me lay it out for you, Rai, and then you decide kind of where you stand. Here's what I think. I think one says Sunrisers have a much better net run rate. So if we end up on equal points with them, there's a higher probability they might edge us on net run rate with equal points. Whereas Gujarat probably cannot do that. So that school of thought says, yeah, therefore support Gujarat. But the other school of thought says this, and I actually agree with this one more, is guys, let's look at their remaining fixtures. Okay, so Sunrisers have this one, they have CSK in Chennai, and they have us in Hyderabad. Gujarat, on the other hand, they have this one, KKR away, and CSK then at home. Now, guys, let me tell you something about Premier League football, and they call this fixture difficulty rating. So I'm going to apply that for these games. So now look at what Sunrisers have. Sunrisers have red, red, red. Gujarat, red, yellow, yellow. So just for that, I'm leaning towards supporting Sunrisers because I think if GT win, they could win out all their games. But if Sunrisers win and they beat Chennai, we still have to play them and we can control our own fate. Anyway, Rai, that was a long narrative, but who are you going to support tonight?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the second route for sure, right? There's no questions about that. And for a simple reason that one, we are playing SRH, right? So I like to have things in our control, if I were to put it like that. And two is that if SRH were to beat GT today, based on the fixture list that I've seen and that you've seen, and we win our next game against KKR, I am guaranteeing you, like you can take it on the pod, you can clip it as well, that these two teams will finish 1 and 2 in whichever order, right? Depending on how that last game goes and who beats who. Because of how strong these teams are, I think the chance of us qualifying is guaranteed. Where GT, on the other hand, funnily, I think that if they do lose at home to SRH, that shows that, hey, you're good enough to beat a few people here and there, but you're not good enough to beat top two. Right? And then we'll take it from there based on the fixture list. But for an RCB fan, let SRH win today. I think we need to win our game, and then we're basically moving towards that direction of 1 and 2 SRH, RCB, and the rest they can fight it out.
100%, man. I only laid out the other option thinking you won't agree with me. But no, I fully agree with you. 100% we're supporting SRH because we will beat them on the last game, whatever it takes, whether it means the difference between qualifying top two or just where in the top two we qualify and just the morale,
And it's a
victory.
4 point. It's a
We'll do
4 point
it.
game, right? It's a four
Yeah.
point game, so we'll do it. Yeah.
No, and it could, like you said, it could realistically be a 4 point game where the result doesn't matter. Either way, the same top two qualify in one order or the other. So I think that's
Yeah.
also pretty realistic to think
And
about.
if you're thinking really long term, like if I were to really be selfish about RCB and how it would be for us, dude, I'm desperate to win the next two games, right? Because in a world where, hey, imagine not sending a few of our players to Hyderabad from Dharamshala, which is a travel, right? And then
Mm.
having them come back from Hyderabad to Dharamshala for the qualifier one, right?
Man is
So
optimizing like next level, bro. What? The flight tickets you're trying to save on?
no, I'm trying to. No, no, no. So actually, fun fact: Dharamshala, like where the stadium is, it's actually quite a drive from the
That's
airport.
true.
So it's not in one of the
Yeah.
main cities, right? So there is travel fatigue. But there is enough gap between the qualifier one and Hyderabad. To be very honest, it is not the last game of the season. But in a very beautiful world, if we can have our team win the next two games and actually rest or get someone like a Salt back in, right, with that extra rest, why not?
Dude, you know what? Come on. I already teased this. Table's getting spicy. RCB is getting salty. Editor, 11 on the screen, man. Let's see it one more time. All right, guys. I'm gonna assume that Salt is back. Unofficial sources have confirmed that Salt is in Raipur and he's training with the squad. We'll only find out obviously at toss time. So I'm gonna put Salt in the team. Salt and Virat open. DDP, Rajat, Tim David, Jitesh, Romario, Krunal, Uvi, Asik, Isilwood, and Suya Sharma. So that's the 12 I'm going with. Guys, you know how this goes. You know what we are scared of hearing at the toss is we're going to play the same 11. Like, I'm tired of that. The only change I really, really, really have to see is Phil Salt is back, so Jacob Bethel sits out this one. But Rai, let me turn this to you, man. What are you expecting? What are you hoping for?
This one's a tough one. And the reason I'm saying that is that in an ideal world, I would want to play out that scenario that we've mentioned multiple times on the podcast, which is have Romario and Duffy on the impact list, right? And then we bring them on depending on what happens in the game. But for that to happen, we have to bat first, right? And on this pitch, with the way Bowie has bowled and the way KKR are set up, which is they have a monster we'll talk more about in Finn Allen, who gives me Chris Gale vibes, gives me Sanju Samsung, or with respect to how he plays, right? So you got to get him early. So that's the key. So I would want us to replicate what we did, which is bowl first, restrict them to a 150 target based on what we saw the other day, or 160, hopefully, and then
Yeah.
chase it down where the chase master will not, hopefully, again fail. So in terms of the team 11, like I said, if Salt is fit, get him back in. Rest of it, they will not change. But I would love to somehow have Duffy come in for this game in particular, given all the conditions.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you, especially guys, if we're batting first, this makes perfect sense, right? We do exactly that. We keep Romario and Duffy as options and pick the right person depending on the scenario. We need him to bat in our first innings. Call Romario. You don't need him to bat because you've done well. Call Duffy. All right. I'm going to leave that out
But
because.
then, based on, sorry to interrupt, but I have to mention, I know so many people in the comment section will be like, Adi, but as if Romario bats, right? Given
Yeah.
the way things are happening.
We'll definitely talk about that. But you know what? Here's another option, man. And I think it's specific to this Raipur pitch. And maybe I got this idea from seeing the game I just saw last night with 40 overs of seam and no overs of spin. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we're not going to bowl 4 overs of spin, why carry Suyash in the team? Just make do with Krunal only. And doesn't this make for a great opportunity for a Mangesh Yadav for Suyash? Okay. Right. That's my first question to you as an idea. What do you think of that one?
No, I'd love to support it and give you that. Oh, that would look really good. But knowing how the management is and the fact that Mangesh hasn't even bowled one ball in this IPL, it's not happening at this time of the league stage. There's no way. We need the best 11. We need people who have experience. So it's not going to happen. Like I would like to entertain that thought, but it's not going to happen. If anything, I could see Suyash. No, I could see Suyash not play, right? And we have Abhinandan's bounce, right? That you would use, and why not? Like my point being, if you're going that route of hey, let's just have that extra seamer rather than a
Yep.
spinner, then you might just give him a try. Give him a try with that bounce and speed, which is something
You,
that might be helpful
um,
on this pitch.
no, I agree with you. And actually, in my notes, I have Mangesh/Abhinandan. But the reason I said Mangesh is because he's the one on the impact sub list in the last few games. Abhinandan's not even on impact subs. So the same thing that was true at the start of the season where Mangesh wasn't even in the subs. Now Abhinandan isn't even the sub. So I assume Mangesh, but okay, let's just take that as a potential option one for, let's say domestic Indian seamer for Suyash, right? Let's talk about another one, man. And this one really, I think everyone wants to hear is like we do that. We do Suyash out the team. We do Romario out the team. We get Duffy in, right, as the bowler. And now you get an Indian batsman, Venki, right? So Venki and Duffy for Suyash and Romario, right? Thoughts on that one?
I could entertain that.
Okay.
That seems like something that could happen, given
Okay.
more how Romario is batted. Like that would be my main reason for it, right? Which is that why not give Iyer that opportunity of coming into the squad and putting a few runs, and you never know, that might be the change. But as an RCB fan, as someone who watches every video of the RCB team that they put out, Virat Kohli has said that they're going to support
Yep.
Romario.
Yep.
So yeah, I think Romario did bowl well. So he definitely kept his spot just based on that. And hopefully, if he comes off with the bat, getting into the end stages of this tournament, that is a huge plus for us. That's the only goal, right? Apart from Jitesh.
Okay. Dude, I have a third option for you. Okay. And I also watched that Virat Kohli speech. I agree with you. Clearly, it looks, first of all, Romario looks damn sad, bro. So I don't even want to come on this
He
podcast
seems
and
like
talk
a cutie,
about him.
man. He just
He's
gives me
not
that
a
cutie
cute
vibe.
dude. I'm not going to talk bad about him. You know what? Let's say
Mm.
Romario stays. We already know that's probably likely. How about this one? Venki for Jitesh, assuming Salt is already fit and comes for Bethel, so Salt can keep. We don't need Jitesh anymore for that. So we try Venki. How about third option, final option, lock kiya jaye after?
If we lost the last game, I would send Jitesh home. Okay, I would have sent him home. I would have actually sent him home because I wanted to punch the TV because you have hit that six, right? And then you have an opportunity of using your brain, taking a single, taking it deep, and you would have easily won that game. So if we didn't win that game, I was going to put everything on Jitesh and I would have sent him home. But because we won that game and he did play well in terms of at least the sixes that he hit were clean, DK keeps talking to him. So I love DK, and so I know that he is probably putting, and DK's face was my face when Jitesh got out, which is
Yep.
DK looked at him being like, bro, I spoke to this guy for 10 minutes before he went out to bat and he still did it. Like that was literally his reaction. right? So based on that, I think that change is not going to happen as much as you would want it to happen. So Jitesh will play another game, and I think if he either does what he did and not get out like an idiot, or he bats well in the first innings and puts up some score, I think we need Jitesh, man, for the balance of the team. We definitely need him.
Yeah. And dude, just to be clear for the viewers as well. I mean, I always start with this and I always entertain these thoughts just because I know you guys entertain these thoughts. I personally, man, I back Jitesh, I back Romario, I back Bethel until Salt wants to come back. And that's it. I don't think we change our guys. Okay, you know what? Lots of talk about RCB. Let's see this KKR team that's been on a 4-game. All right. So we have Rahane, Finn Allen opening. Finn Allen has really been, out of form at the start, but a real key to success now. Raghuvanshi has been great. Cameron Green, huge difference maker. Rovman Paul, Manish Pandey, Rinku Singh, Sunil Narayan, Anukul Roy, Varun Chakravarti. They've played 3 spinners. Chakravarti has an injury. Rai's going to tell you about that. And then 2 pacers, Karthik Tyagi and Vaibhav Arora. So this is the team they've gone with for that basically 4-game win streak, right? One immediate question I have to ask you is, Varun's injured now. What's the solution for that? And is it really that big a problem considering what pitch, Raipur is going to give them?
Yeah, so I think that's a great question in terms of Varun's impact. I think Varun's a huge loss for them. And the reason I'm saying that is the reports that have come out, he's gone out in a proper cast, like in terms of his leg is not doing well. So I don't see it's a 1-game miss. I think it's going to be either a season miss or at least the next 2-3 games, which is huge for them. He's the balance of that team with respect to how they set up, right? They almost bowled 12 overs of spin, but that's their strong point. In Raipur, I do not think they would miss him only because of what we saw, right? Which is that spin is not the dominating factor there. Sunil Narayan is a top class bowler. He will bowl his 4 overs, but it's not a huge loss for them for this game. But for the season in total, it is, and hence it's going to impact their qualification. So overall, it is, but for this game, probably not as much.
Okay. What scares you about this team, man? And don't say Finn Allen. I know Finn Allen was your orange cap pick at the start of the season. So what else scares you?
No, so I actually think, if I were to be honest, with the way they started the season, we weren't watching them as much, and then obviously recently we have. So they have three key players in their team that I'm not even joking. If 2 out of those 3 hit, they will win that match. That's how dominant these 3 players are, and I'm going to go in order. You have Finn Allen on top, right, as a destroyer opening batsman. How he plays and his tempo is basically either he wins the game in 14 overs or he gets out, right? So he's that monster up top. Then you've got Rinku Singh, who's a match winner, right? The whole thing started with the Rajasthan game where it all flipped for them, where if he wasn't there, they would not have won that game, right?
Yep.
And he is the person that they need in form for them to finish games either way, batting first or chasing. And the last is obviously the monster, Sunil Narayan, who's actually the one who's been in form from game 1, irrespective of how KKR were playing. So these 3 are the key for their team. Like I said, if 2 out of 3 hit, we're in trouble. We have to hope to keep at least 2 of them silent, which I am hoping for, which we'll get into as well, right? With Bhuvi's form, hopefully Allen will find it difficult. And then with the way our batting is set up on this pitch, if we can even not give Sunil Narayan wickets, I think the team will be in trouble.
Yeah, I fully agree, man. Do you have any remedies for these monsters? Like anyone in mind for Finn Allen? Anyone in mind who takes on Sunil Narayan? Or should we just play him for 24?
Honestly, 24 on that pitch would not be bad. 24 for no wickets, Sunil Narayan looks good to me. But unfortunately, the way we play, which is play bold, I don't know if that's going to be something we'll be doing. But from a matchup to matchup, I think I'm pretty confident that we will keep Finn Allen, fingers crossed, in check, because our bowling up top has been really good, right? So I'm hoping for those power play wickets either way. And I'm hoping that our batsmen can take care of Sunil Narayan in terms of not give him the upper hand or not give him the wickets as needed. So I think the only thing that is left is Rinku Singh, who is their X factor from that perspective, right? I can't put my finger on who is that one player who's going to get him out or how we're going to get him out. If Bhuvi does well, if our team does well, hopefully we can get him out early. But if he stays, then I don't think a Rasik or Romario or any of them will be able to contain him easily, given how he's been batting. So fingers crossed there as well.
Yeah, it's crazy what a few weeks of form can do for you, man. This is the same Rinku who couldn't buy a run, at the start of the season. And what he's doing today, crazy. But anyway, let's go into this, man. Let's go into good, bad, and bold. All right, right. It's just you and me this time. So I'll do the good. I'll play Ayush's role. You play your own role. Here's what I think the good is, guys, is I think KKR is really dominant with, as Rai mentioned, kind of 12 overs of spin. They do the choke and constrain really, really well. And I think Raipur is not the kind of pitch that's spin friendly. It's already shown to be bounce, pacer friendly, short, hard length balls, slower deliveries. Not the kind of place that Anukul Roy and Sunil Narayan will do well. I expect Sunil Narayan to do well across pitches. But my point here being, this is not a 12 overs of spin like Chennai is. This is a 4 overs of spin like Raipur is. And guys, just watching the game yesterday where we saw 0 overs of spin across 2 innings, and I heard on comms for the first time since 2008. So just wanted to bring up what a crazy, crazy tactical difference it makes what pitch you play on. And I think Raipur suits us to play against this opposition. So that's the good, right? Give us the bad, man.
Yeah, I think the bad that first comes to mind is momentum, right? So coming in with 4 games back-to-back victory for them is going to be a huge plus. Confidence is high. Like I said, every part that wasn't working for them is working as of the last game. So they're going to come in with a lot of confidence into the game. And confidence is definitely a huge factor in the IPL. So that is definitely a bad for us for this particular game.
Yeah, no, fully agreed. And we waited so long. Let's just go into bold predictions. Dude, I'm going to read the ones from my panelists I already have, right? So you don't duplicate them. But we have Bharat saying that Virat goes back to form with 65 plus. We have Malu saying pretty similar. Let's see the difference. She's saying that Virat ends the innings not out. Okay. That's a pretty bold take.
I think we should have 2 same players, but I guess we have a lot of panelists now.
We'll accept it. They didn't know each other's predictions.
Cool.
That's why I'm reading it to you, so you don't know theirs either. And who else? Aryaman's is really cool. Aryaman says Finn Allen and Ajinkya Rahane, so their 2 openers, have a combined score of less than 20 runs. Again, not partnership, individual scores combined. So Aryaman's been going for it, man. Love it. Rai, you give us yours. I'll go ahead, and then the rest of the panelists you'll see on screen.
I'm going to go with Aryaman for his thing to come true. I think Hazel God needs to show up, man. I think he went for a few last game, and I don't think he's really liking the way batters are getting on top of him in the last few games. So I think I'm going to see a huge comeback from him this game. So I'm going for a crazy half 3 wickets in the power play, not even overall game.
Okay, half
Kill the
3
game.
wickets in the... Damn. I was going to go for a safe one, man. I was going to go for something like a DDP, but that's not the purpose of this game. We're not playing here for safe ones. So I'm going to go for... I think Romario takes 3 wickets in this game. Okay, I'm going to back my boy.
Nice.
I think he's going to play, and I B think he's taking 3 wickets. And you know what? I'm going to put my neck on the line. Even he gets the man of the match, too. Okay, take it, man. Take it. That's all of it for Romario. The rest of the panelists have it on screen, editor. Please help with that. And guys, drop yours in the comments. I haven't seen a few of my regulars in a long time and would welcome new ones as well. So please go ahead with that. And guys, this one matters so much. So, do what you have to do, manifest what you can, pray to the gods, because this game against KKR truly defines whether the rest of the season, the Red and Bold show is discussing top 2 or top 4. All right. And guys, I want to talk to top 2, man. I'm not talking CSK kind of nonsense. Get out of here. We'll see you in the next one.